Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
What up, kids? Time to get the work done. If you want to drive Clary from zero to pissed off, keep sending me more and more emails with details that you forgot to mention in your first one, because that's a real great way to get me real pissed off and give you shoddy advice. Hi, Cappy. Let me preface this by saying I'm an idiot. Yep. Save you the trouble. I studied journalism. Yep. In college. Double down on that mistake going to grad school, and for the past 13 years I bounced around a dying industry. No! For 13 years, you have been a coward and a pussy and not gone into another field because you're too damn lazy to do it. And in doing so, you have now spent way more calories of energy clawing and begging and pleading and panhandling for some modicum of a job than if you had just bit the bullet early and gone back to school for something worthwhile. The problem is I can't stomach it anymore. I honestly didn't know when I started along this path in the late 90s that mainstream journalism is merely co-opted by the radical left. This was long before the master, yep. Man, what the hell is that? No. And that pushing a white male-hating, nation-wrecking agenda is the main purpose of the MSN. Yep. My eyes were opened several years ago by people such as yourself. Thanks, by the way. So fast forward to now, I'm happily married to an economist who works in the College of Agriculture at a state school. I'm not going to mention where, but you're in a sucky leftist state. So I'm stuck in a remote town in a place that's 2 hours away from anything in any direction. On the plus side, it's a very conservative, rural area that's full of Second Amendment loving people looking to break away from the rest of the state, but I digress. The only job I could scare up is working as an adjunct at the School of Journalism teaching sports writing. Holy fuck. Sports writing. The way I justified this to myself is as long as I don't teach them any Marxism, I could show videos all day long and still be doing less harm than their other professors. Who knows, maybe I can even connect with a few benighted young men and steer them away from grad school and other huge life mistakes. The fact they're taking a class in sports journalism means they are already gone. You're not going to save them. Yeah, no. It's awful. I'm surrounded by Marxist professors who whiny entitled, smartphone-addicted college kids who have been brainwashed from infancy. I've recommended your books to more than a few, but there's no helping them by the time they get to me. The damage is permanent. Yeah, that's what it is. It starts in middle school, I'd say. My conscience is gnawing at me because pursuing journalism was the biggest mistake of my life. And here I am helping perpetuate the system, and of course the pay is pitiful. I just turned 37. I need to make more. Any suggestions? Yeah! I'll go through the whole long-ass request here. On the plus side, I'm basically debt-free. My very frugal wife earns good money and couldn't care less about the status or impressing people. Our fixed costs are very low. We even have some savings, no kids. And I lift weights to keep myself in good physical shape. Good. My needs are small, so as long as I'm making $20,000 a year or more doing something honest and decent, I'll be able to look at myself in the mirror. Nothing is too dirty or low status for me. There's a highly rated, fairly inexpensive welding program just down the road. And apparently there's quite a bit of seasonal work hauling rice and other crops around in trucks. I raised feeder pigs from a farm-to-table restaurant once, and I enjoyed it. Just a few things off the top of my head. Like I said, any suggestions? If you have some, I'd be happy to pay your fee. All right, we'll keep you anonymous. And of course, you were late in getting back to me. You didn't answer my questions. Or did you answer my questions here? You wanted to hold off. You had a meeting with a guy who runs a journal. And I'm trying to keep everything anonymous because I don't want to ruin this for you. So you're going to go back and work in journalism. Huh? You have 13 years empirical evidence that journalism... So you can go ahead and work this job if you want, but I'd be working from home and I'd be a contractor. Like, no, I'm not coming into an office. I will write for you. Okay, now you're just throwing shit up against the wall and hope something. So aside from that, I'm thinking of small egg enterprise on my own, like raising hogs for meat. I can't compete with commodity. Or beehives, or maybe a few acres of nut trees. You are choosing everything to avoid work, aren't you? Like right now, it's anything. Right now, you're anything. I mentioned that welding school down the road, but it seems like that's more of a young man's game, and I'm 37. Oh, well, let's come up with excuses for doing things hard. Fumes and lung cancer. You're open to anything, as long as it doesn't require work, right? As long as there's no risk, right? Do I have access to free classes? I have to pay a small fee, but it's basically free. Even without the employee discount, this college is one of the more affordable colleges in California. So it could actually go through community college in 2 years. You do have an astounding IQ of 135. 135 is astounding. That's more than 2 standard deviations from the mean. You are perfectly capable of everything you want to do. You could be a nuclear physicist if you wanted to be. Oh, one last thing. Don't mention names. Here's the deal, dude. The welding is a fine program, all right? But if you have essentially free education or dirt cheap education where you're going, just get your ass into programming or accounting. All right? If you don't, I understand if the trades are physical and taxing and demanding. All right, fine. But get your ass back to school and get yourself a real fucking trade. Get yourself a real skill. Hell, with your educational background, you don't have to go and repeat your fucking prereq classes. You just have to get 2 more years in either accounting or an engineering field or computers. That's what I would do. And knock it off with this fucking, oh, I'm gonna raise hogs, I'm gonna have bees. No. You're just, you have spent 13 years of your life. If we add the 6 years you took to get your master's, or whatever you got, that's almost 20 years of you avoiding real work. And how much energy and effort have you spent trying to just tread water in this horrible industry of journalism and these crap degrees in these crap career choices? My buddy Atham, his dad said it best: lazy people work twice as hard. And you've worked twice as hard. And you admit this, you went to the wrong thing. And now you're going to double down on trying to avoid, you're just trying to squirm. It's the squirmers, return of the squirm. We're going to squirm around the heart. You're not. Man the fuck up and go choose a real degree and a real discipline and a real field and go become an accountant, go become a programmer, go become an engineer. You know my routine. I don't have to repeat what the good degrees are and what the bad degrees are, and you know. That's what I recommend. You get borderline free tuition or very heavily discounted tuition. And, maybe by the time you'll have enough money by the time you're 6. Thank God you don't have kids, you have no debt. So you're starting from a really good place right there. But you're not doing this, I'm going to raise pot, I'm going to raise pigs, I'm going to breed mosquitoes. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to wake up and join us real few and dwindling number of adults in the real world and get a real profession and a real degree. And then your problems like this will go away. All right, that's it. One last thing. I'm sorry. This is very important. There's nothing wrong with you being a teacher or a professor. Let me explain why. This is the cheating wife syndrome. Woman is married and she wants to sleep with you. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is yes, because guess what? She's just going to find another guy and sleep with him. All right? You might as well enjoy it. It's going to be committed. Oh, Aaron, that's immoral. Fuck you and fuck this world. This world is so fucking bankrupt and immoral and pointless anyway. I don't give a shit. All right? These kids, you've done your best. Hey, here's a book. Try and help out. Or you try to help them, maybe point them in the right direction. And none of them a bit. If anything, you've gotten a backlash. You know what? Fuck them. You have every moral right to make as much money on those dipshit kids as possible. Because they're committed to being Dubro sports journalism men or sports analysts. All right? You have every right to take those kids to the cleaner. Because they're dumb. Because they're intellectually dishonest. And above all else, they're arrogant and they're not going to listen to you. You have absolutely every right to, and it's moral, 100% moral, because if you don't, there's a professor that will and is going to. Right? This is, well, I don't want to be a drug dealer. That heroin addict might get addicted to heroin. That heroin addict is already addicted to heroin. Do you want to make your $200 off of a trade or not? They're going to get it from the next guy. This is one, I wouldn't even call it Machiavellian. This is simply opportunistic. There's going to be no more damage caused whether you have some moral epiphany and leave teaching journalism and dude bro sports analysis or not. Those kids are fucked. You can't look at them as human beings. You just got to look at them as dead zombies. They're already dead. They're committed to running off the cliff. All right? The question is, knowing that their corpse is going to be at the bottom of that cliff, whether you take their $20 or not, do you want the $20? Because I do. Right? And I will sleep just as soundly because they're dead anyway. There, that's the only thing I want to say. All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.